Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth-given name. Happy Monday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. Got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Monday, guys. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Pretty busy day, so I want to drop this really quickly. I want to give you guys 10 reasons on why your promise, your destiny may be on hold. All caps may, because of course it's not for everyone. If you guys have anything you would like to chime in the comment section, please feel free to do so. Any other input, I should say. Okay, so number one, you really don't believe it. You say you believe it, but do you believe it in your heart, in your soul, that what God has said to you is, or are you just getting amped up about it? Maybe you're in church or you hear a certain recording and you're, yep, that's my promise. I believe it. And you're really, you're feeling it, but it's only in that moment, right? It's very fickle. When God gives you a promise, that thing have to sit up in your spirit and it connect. Again, we're human, so you have your days where you just like, you know what? But overall, it should be so planted in your spirit that you go to sleep and you wake up and this thing is still in your spirit. It just won't leave you. Number two, still not seeing yourself properly. You're not seeing yourself the way that God sees you, right? You're still comparing yourself with the physical things and all that stuff. And if you're doing that, you will never, ever see yourself the way God sees you. You got to see yourself knowing that whatever God says is for you is for you. You have to see yourself knowing that you are handpicked for this thing. Only you. Nobody can touch you. I can't even touch you. You can't touch me in that area. It's handpicked for you. So you have to really start focusing and ask God, ask him to see yourself the way he sees you. You know, a friend of mine had messaged me a couple of years ago, just out randomly. And she was like, Kizzy, I tell you often how beautiful you are, but God needs you to see yourself the way he sees you. And I was like, I mean, I'm pretty confident. I think I got that concept. But when I called her and she kind of really allowed the Holy Spirit to guide her to what the Holy Spirit really needs to see is, listen, I'm going to have you in some environments. I know where I'm taking you. But if you don't really lock in on the idea that you're handpicked for this destiny, you're going to lose it. So you have to see yourself the way God sees you. And that's spiritual. People can tell you all day long, you're beautiful. Listen, this stuff is fading, period. It can go overnight, literally, right? So you got to lock in there. So some of these things, some of it, probably, maybe all, I don't know. It's things that I know I had to encounter along the way on the journey. All right, so number 3. You are comfortable with generational curses. Generational curses has become your norm. Typically, that's what happens. Generational curses or cycles becomes your norm. But in order for you to reach your promised land and your destiny, you're responsible. You are responsible. You're chosen. You're responsible to break that cycle. That cycle is not going to destiny. That mouth is not going to destiny. That insecurity is not going to destiny, right? That temper is not going to destiny. That bad money habit and not understand, all that stuff is not going to destiny. So honey, we will sit right here in the wilderness until we get it. It's not going. It's not going. You are responsible to break the cycle. This is why you were chosen. So whatever that cycle is for you, I don't know. No one in my family ever, quote unquote, let me think of some things. Nobody in my family, not my family, we're speaking in general here. Nobody in my family have ever graduated high school or college. No one in my family has ever branched out to try to start doing things on their own. They've always worked for other people. No one in my family has ever been married before kids. No one in my family has ever been faithful to their wives. Like all these stuff. And you hear people say things like that, like, oh, all of my family, and we don't even realize you're coming into agreement with these things. Where in reality, as my chosen ones, you felt different, even when you would see and hear these things throughout your life, throughout your childhood. So because you felt different, you were handpicked, you were chosen for this thing. So you're going to go against the grain. And it's not going to be easy because you're going against your default setting. So, okay, you never saw your father, your grandfather, your piss up uncles. Lord, I repent. I'm sorry, your uncle is not piss up, sir. Okay. You've never seen any of these men been faithful. So all your life, the only thing you know is but God have called you to go against the grain. So it may take everything. It may take you a lifetime. It may take you a lifetime to get to the point that you're so disciplined that you're going to be the first one faithful to your wife or the first one faithful in your whatever. And if it takes you all of your life, well, you've broken that cycle, you've broken that chain. So now your son or your children coming behind you or other family members, other generations following behind you, they have an example. They have an example. There's no examples for anybody. You didn't have an example, and that's why you went that way. So be the example so your children can have a fair chance. Break that cycle. Generational curses is not going into destiny. God told me that clear as day last night. Number 4. Woo, let's say the sins of the heart, honey, you will sit in wilderness until you got gray hair and gray edges. You will not go into destiny with sin of the heart. Of course, that's jealousy. What's some other things? Jealousy, envy, unforgiveness, defensiveness, all that stuff like that. Let me tell you, I thought I had this like so good, right? Because I've never been a person ever who carried that spirit of jealousy and envy. I've always been in my own lane. But honey, okay. God put it clear as day in my face. He put it clear as day in my face. Defensiveness. See, listen, my chosen ones, you're chosen, so you've been here. It could be from rejection or, in my case, from always being misunderstood and having to deal with a lot of jealousy and envy and cattiness from women. So what happens is you don't even realize that you've developed a seed of defensiveness. Because think about it, you're always under attack, right? There's always accusation. So you automatically develop this rebel, if you will, a rebel of a personality, right? I know I did. Like, listen, I'm sick and tired of y'all, right? I'm the nicest person on the earth. Everybody loves me. I don't understand what is the problem. I don't even see, you think I'm so beautiful. I'm struggling trying to see this. I'm speaking about then. Now I know, because again, God had to really help me there. But you're sitting here jealous because you think I got this attention, and I'm so beautiful. When I walk in the room, I'm stealing the light and all this stuff. And I want you to have the same light, right? I want you to help me in the areas that I'm struggling. But no, since you want to just, oh, you know what? Don't even speak to me, right? Or if you speak to me, I'm going to automatically be on guard because I already feel like, you see what I'm saying? So you see how that defensiveness can really develop and you don't even realize it? You become a rebel because you're tired of trying to explain yourself to people, right? And again, that's for those even who dealt with rejection, if you will. Same thing. You've been rejected all your life. You've been given up for adoption. No one wanted you. You couldn't be part of the, I don't know, Mega Psi Phi. Respectfully, if I'm saying it wrong, because I don't really know a lot about fraternities. I'm sorry, right? Not trying to be disrespectful, but you just weren't part of the club. They didn't want you. They said you weren't good enough. So you heard it all your life. We're not going to pick you on the soccer team because, you can't even run. You're too heavy. X, Y, and Z, right? Or you're too skinny. You look like olive oil. All this nonsense, right? So you hear all this stuff in childhood. Nobody wants you, so you think, and you develop this defensiveness. So now anybody you meet, the people God sends to you, you're rejecting them because you think they're going to reject you, and you're blocking your own blessings. So for me, I didn't even realize I had this spirit of defensiveness until God. Actually, it was Pastor Samuel Blake's a recording I heard, a video I heard of his, maybe like a year and a half ago. Well, about a year ago, I think, maybe a year ago. And it was boom, right in my face. And I was like, well, God. Well, because you go tell them petty women, right? Because it ain't me, it's them. They keep harassing my nerves. And can you just show them how beautiful my spirit is? They're the problem. I'm not the problem. No, Kizzy, you are the problem. Because why are you allowing people to have you with a spirit of defense? And the spirit of defense is causing you to be blocked from the very blessings that I need to flow to you. I can't have anything flow to you if you're blocked. Because everything that comes to you, you're going to think it's something that's going to offend you. And I was like, well, snatch my edges. It's very frustrating, but you have to make a conscious decision, and you're going to always be triggered, right? Because remember, that's your default setting. So whatever you dealt with, that's going to be your default setting. You're going to be triggered, but you got, for example, when I, as well as Pastor R.C. Blake's, posted that picture, right? As much love that was on that picture, so much backlash from my ducks, from bottom feeders, from envious and jealousy spirits, right? So it was a trigger. Yet, how many pictures has he posted with a sister, a female, solo, without beautiful Lady Lisa Blake's? You see not one comment of, well, what's going on? Something looks fishy. You don't see one comment about him being in a solo picture with anybody else. But no, me with Lisa in arm's reach, I'm attacked. So you see how it could be a trigger because that's something you already dealt with. And I hope one of you guys is picking this up in your spirit, because my spirit is alerting me. Somebody's picking this up, right? So you see how that trigger, how it can trigger you. But see, you got to catch the trigger, right? You got to catch the trigger, because if you're not careful, that defensiveness, that seed that God worked so hard to get you to expel, is going to come back into place. So it's not to say you won't be triggered. It's not to say you won't be stung. It's about making sure that that seed does not develop over again. So whatever sins in the heart you got, because we all got something. I don't care what you say. We all got something, right? You will not enter to destiny is so pure. Destiny is so beautiful, so deserving. We just listen. We ain't going. Well, I'm going. You going too. I'm standing in agreement. You're going, honey, because we're good. We ain't perfect, but we're good. All right, number 5. You have not done, now, this is a lot of people. You have not done everything that has been required of you. Whatever that thing may be. Working on the sins of the heart, right? Working on your character flaws. Working on breaking the generational curses. Whatever God has said to you, because whatever he tells me is for me. He ain't tell me nothing for you. Whatever he said to you, you got to start working on those tangible things. I think I'm about 85%. I got so much stuff on my list that he's given me over the last several years, and I'm about 85% there, but I'm diligently working on it. I'm doing something every day. Speaking of that, be mindful, because you don't want to overload yourself, because what will happen is if you feel like you're doing too much, you're going to walk away from it. You're going to be overwhelmed. So make a list and maybe make a commitment to do one thing per day or one thing per week on that list. Just depends on how much is involved, and just start marking it out that way. Because, honey, when you're looking at a list and you got 100 things, it's like, listen here, can I do half of the stuff in due season, please, sir? Number 6. Got the wrong people around you, boo. Got the wrong people around you. Some may be family, some may be friends, whoever, right? Your boo thing. You got the wrong person around you. Different reasons. The person's spirit may not be pure and you may be blind and can't even see it. God is not going to give you certain blessings with certain spirits up around you, because that means this person will be benefiting from God's blessing. So why would he give it to you? Right? You could have somebody around you that can be in your team, and this person is really greedy about money, and you're moving from a spiritual posture, but this person is all about money, 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 money. God, listen, if God is convicting you about somebody in your circle, somebody in your life, somebody in your home, somebody in your family, if he's convicting you, he's telling you that that person is not great, X, Y, and Z, and they can't go and you're still struggling, you're going to sit right here. So ask God to give you grace and strength to move the individuals who is not designed to go into your destiny. Number 7. You're stuck in the past, right? You're stuck in the past. You're still doing old things, right? Remember, destiny is all new. It's new. So you're probably still hanging out with some of the same old people, which is okay. Again, long as God approves, because there are some people from your past it's okay, but you're still hanging out with the same people. You're still doing the same nonsense, right? You're getting up and you're smoking marijuana from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, and you're doing nothing but sitting home eating all the snacks because you're high. Listen, God doesn't tell you, sir. You got the wrong people around you, and every time these people are around you, you get in that mode. You just want to smoke. You just want, because these are like your people from the past, right? They're comfortable, but this journey is not comfortable. So that's the whole point. We're going against the grain here. So you have to be okay with not allowing certain people in your past, or allowing yourself to continue doing things from the past, so God can work on you and prepare you for the things in destiny. These things are new. They look different. They smell different. They talk different. They act different. Their spirits is different. So where's the space? Where's the space in the time that you will allow God in when there's nothing in you, the past nor the future yet? He needs that space to work on you, because you got to get to destiny, my friends. You got to get to destiny, my friends. Number 8. My God, this was me, honey. Whoa, this was me. Not like recently, if you will. Years ago. You're trying to bring too many people along. My God. The loyalty of the chosen ones. Because our heart is so pure, we just, we want to see the best in everybody. And honey, we got people hanging on to our legs, our arms, our toes, our shoulder. We are literally weighed down with people, and we're trying to climb these ladders. And if anybody, well, you are here, you guys know the journey itself. The journey itself is heavy, right? Already by itself. So now you have all these people that's holding on to you that you're trying to take. And half of these people, if not all, would have not done the same for you. You think they would, but they really would have not done the same for you. So in reality, ask God to give. I'm sorry. I rebuke you. I'm sorry, guys. I lost my train of thought here. I am so sorry. Get it together, Kizzy. Get it together. Ask God. Oh, yeah. Ask God to help you to wean out who's going and who's not going. Again, there's going to be a certain point. Obviously, isolation season, whatever. Ain't nobody going. They'll come back, but they ain't going right now, right? You're stagnant here. You're stagnant. Okay, number 9. Speaking of isolation, you won't sit your butt there long enough. You won't sit there long enough. Every time God is trying to process you, honey, you are just annoyed. You ain't got time for it. You're frustrated. You're not, I ain't got time for this, Lord. And you out. Now you're going back right to the same life he pulled you from because you're having such a difficult time in isolation. I mean, really, truth be told, isolation be feeling like punishment. I always say that. But once you get out of whatever the season you're in, you realize that it was truly for your good. Like God was doing you a favor. But we be sitting here feeling like God is torturing me. I'm under a punishment. He is. When you get out, you'll be laughing at yourself like, you know what? All along, you did this for me because I couldn't remove these fools, right? You had to do it for me. I never even think I could be without some of these people. And now that you've removed them, I realize how more peaceful life is, right? Or you've taught me how, and I'm speaking in general, now you've taught me how to put up boundaries. And so what felt like punishment, right? You scripting me raw and forcing me to see certain things that felt like torture was really a process that needed to be done in order to teach me how to put up boundaries and how to keep them there. And now that I'm there, life is peaceful. But we keep running because we think like we're being getting a spanking during the time. And the truth of the matter is, once you get up out of it, you're going to realize how much of a blessing isolation season is. But you won't sit there. You got hot pants. Last one, number 10. You're not. This is huge. I know I had to really go through a season for about 6 months, which 6 months wilderness, just to stop trying to see the promise the way you want to see it, right? God has given you revelation. He said the destiny is yours. He said the promise is yours. He said this season. He told you. He's shown you whatever he's done, right? In your way of hearing from God, it is. It is. But again, our own limited thinking, we want to see it this way. You think it's going to be cookie cutter, cut and dry, right? You already got this. You, honey, you got your memo pad. You done got everything highlighted. You got everything highlighted about how destiny is going to be, what you're going to do when you get there, how this man going to look, how this is, and how the girl. Please take that thing out. Please tear it up. Tear it up. Just tear it up and just lock on the fact that you're going to reach your destination, but you're not going to know how, and it's not going to look like the way you think. You're going to get there. You're going to get there, but it is not going to be from who you think and how you think. When you get there, that if you don't get your mind to the point where, like, listen, okay, Lord, I just trust your word that I'm going to get there, but I'm going to be fluid in my thinking, meaning you move how you want to move through it. I just know you're going to do it. But the longer you keep locking on to how you think is going to look, right, you're going to set yourself back, because why would God open the door or release something to us and we have the wrong view of it? And then even that. It's not, I mean, I can't even explain it. It's like it is that, but it's not that. In fact, it's better. That's the crazy part. It's better. We're just locked in, and then we'll feel like we're disappointed about something because it's like, well, it's not exactly what I thought. Well, who are you, boo? What you thought? So when I start really I fought against it for a while, right? Because I do have, I could always have my hands in something. Right? But until I allow God to help, first, please ask. Ask for grace to take your hands up off of it. Please ask, right? And when you give you grace, when you move your hand, 2 days later, you're going to put your hand right back in it. But every time you get convicted, just pull back. Pull back. Because if you can release that, you give God space to come in and move you along further, because you're not locked in on this mindset of how you think something's going to look, feel, smell, how it's going to be way better. It's going to be way better than what you think. But So your destination is absolutely correct, but the details, honey, is fickle. You guys have a great one.